Hey everybody, Spaz here. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of But Is It Power Pop? I would like to thank you for stopping by, and obviously, as you can tell by my pink or purple hue, that I still haven't gotten proper lighting, so this is the color that I will remain through this entire episode. So, I am not really this pink or purple hue. I am regular, normal, flesh-colored human being, but the damn lighting makes me look like a tomato. But let's move on to something a little happier. We're up to episode 5 of Beach Blanket Fort Bingo, my podcast. It's not just an interview for an hour. It's a variety show. I have music on there. I have different interviews with different artists, and it's a whole lot of fun. And I think that you would really like it if you enjoy these videos. So definitely check out Beach Blanket Fort Bingo podcast. We're up to episode 5, and also woodyradio.com. Thursday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, you can listen to Skib Dobbin with Spaz. It is me playing a bunch of great melodic music for an hour. It's not all power pop. It's not sunshine pop. It's just sort of everything thrown together. It's a whole lot of fun. So check it out. woodyradio.com. Thursday nights, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for 60 minutes, and I play a lot of great music, so please come and check it out. Of course, you can read my stuff on discussionsmagazine.com. But let's get into what you all came here for. I'm sorry for babble on and on. It's a Squeeze album. Anyway, we're not going to talk about Squeeze. I'm going to talk about a band called The Tourists. Right there. That's right. The Tourists. That is this is Tourist Greatest Hits. It is a UK collection. Tourists are best known as the band that started the careers of Annie Lennox and Dave Stewart, who eventually went off to form Eurythmics. But they were in the Tourists first. The Tourists put out 3 great albums. The main guy in the band was a guy named Pete Coombs, and he wrote some great 60s inspired jangle, psych, power pop, great stuff. Tracks from all 3 of those albums are featured here. Believe it or not, Annie Lennox was the keyboard player and co-vocalist. She wasn't the main vocalist in the band. She sang lead on a couple songs, or maybe a third of the songs, but Pete Coombs was the main guy in this band. And then they obviously left and became a lot more popular. But The Tourists is a band you should definitely check out. I highly recommend it. But that's not all by The Tourists that's available on CD. Pretty much that's the easiest thing to get. But you may want to get Reality Effect. This is the American track listing of their second album, which was basically a collection of the first 2 UK albums. So you can get that. I believe most of the tracks are on that Greatest Hits. And then after that, you can also get, this is a lot harder to get. This is the Japanese version of Luminous Basement, which is their 3rd album. It's fantastic. It's a little darker, a little heavier, but it's filled with great songs, and you should definitely check it out. It's got the same songs as the American version, but they're just in the UK order. So that track listing there looks a little different than the American one, but that's because that's the way the album originally was released in the UK. And so that's The Tourists. Great stuff. Let's switch gears and go into something new. Chris Richards. Chris Richards and the Subtractions. This smells like a new CD. Peaks and Valleys. A lot of people are going to know Chris Richards from his previous albums with the Subtractions, but also his work with the Legal Matters. And they have 2 albums out. And Chris is a very unique talent. He's got a great voice, writes great songs. This album is probably, I'd say this album's closer to the Legal Matters than his previous albums. I think there's a lot more layered harmonies on this and better arrangements, and this is probably the best Chris Richards and the Subtractions album to date. I highly recommend you to run out and get it. It's on Future Man Records. It's available now. When you buy this stuff, please support the artist. Buy it on CD, buy it on vinyl, or buy it on digital. If you go to Spotify, you are siphoning blood from the corpse of Satan if you listen to Spotify. So enjoy that blood from the corpse of Satan. Or you can buy the product and enjoy Chris Richards and the Subtractions. Peaks and Valleys. Available now. Brand new. Like I said, you're going to get your copy and you're going to go, that smells new. Because it is. It's brand new. Before I continue, I want to mention 2 comics that Power Pop fans might be interested in. Number 1, this is the variant cover of Archie Meets Ramones. And that's, of course, it's an homage to the first Ramones album cover. And then that Archie number 6, an homage to Blondie Parallel Lines. I thought some of you might find those humorous or fun to look at. And you can go to your comic shop and order them. Now let's get back to the CDs. I won't talk about comics anymore today, unless you want me to. Buzzcocks. Singles Going Steady. You know, I've probably talked about this already, but it's always worth talking about again. I think I'm getting like really old because I forget what I talk about, but it doesn't matter because it's all great. I could talk about it again, for hours on end. This right here was the first American album, which it was basically a collection of all their A-sides and all their B-sides. Side 1 of the LP was all the A-sides. Side 2 of the LP was all the B-sides. But the CD obviously put them all together, put them in the same order. But this CD was the remastered one, and they add all the subsequent singles that the original quartet released on EMI. So this has every A-side and every B-side released by the original Buzzcocks lineup. And it is absolutely stellar. You can just tell that Buzzcocks were one of those bands. Their albums were great, but they were definitely a singles band. Like every single should have been number 1. It wasn't, but everybody knew that Buzzcocks were one of the greatest singles bands of the punk era, and I highly recommend that. Check it out. Now let's talk real quick about a label called Teensville Records. Fantastic label. They've got a lot of great collections out that focus on 60s stuff. Is it power pop? No, it's not power pop. Power pop fans are going to dig it, though. One of the things that they have, this is one of the albums, it's called Marshmallow Skies, and it has 60s pop stars performing sort of out of their element and recording psychedelic songs. Like Ricky Nelson has a song that a title track, Marshmallow Skies. It sounds exactly like Moody Blues, and it's bizarre. And there's like a Chubby Checker song that'll just blow your mind. It's like Chubby Checker going psychedelic. It needs to be heard to be believed. But it's a great collection on Teensville Records. Teensville also has this great series that I want to show you that is called Guys Go Pop, and it's like teen pop, male vocals, stuff from the 60s. Not really Mercy Beat-esque or anything. It's more pop, contemporary top 40, 60s style. Like I said, teen pop, male vocal pop. And these 3 collections here, there's Volume 1, Volume 2, and Volume 3, which is brand new. They contain a lot of great, rare, well-produced, beautifully arranged, wonderfully recorded tracks in the best sound quality that you're going to find them. So that's the Guys Go Pop series on Teensville Records. Also on Teensville, probably my 2 favorite releases on the label are the Take a Mind Excursion and the My World of Make Believe collection. These are both soft pop collections, and oh my God, I put these things on and I get chills. A lot of the stuff I never heard. I'm a fan of sunshine pop and soft pop and bubblegum and psych pop and stuff. I'm a fan of that stuff, but I haven't heard a lot of it. But so when I hear stuff like this, I mean, it just, every song makes me go, oh, I got to listen to that again. So it takes me like four or 5 days to get through a CD because I keep going back and listening to a song 2 or 3 times in a row before I go to the next one because they're so amazing. So those are definitely both, like I said, Teensville Records is the label. But that's all I'll talk about Teensville Records for now. It's not power pop, but power pop fans are going to go, oh, their heart's just going to leap out of their chest. Oh my goodness gracious. We talked about Legal Matters a little while ago, right? They were on Omnivore Records. Omnivore is great with reissues, including The Searchers. This is the Sire Records recordings, or the Sire recordings from the late 70s. This is all power pop supreme. And, they had Hearts in Her Eyes, which was written for them by John Wicks and Will Birch from the Records. And Love's Melody is a song that was written by Andy McMaster from The Motors. And just a lot of great stuff there. This has both of their Sire Records albums, plus a couple bonus tracks. And it's definitely worth checking out because the Searchers may have been past their commercial prime, but they were still making great music. And these albums are proof of that. It is the Searchers, Another Night, the Sire Recordings, 1979 to 81. It's a 2 CD set, and that's available now at your local cool record store. Uh-oh. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's the new Sloan, 12. Do I need to say anymore? I don't think I need to say anymore. This is fantastic pop. This is going to be in everybody's top 10 list. Sloan, 12. I really don't need to say anything except you need this. And I don't need to say anything except that sometimes when I look at that logo, I go, what's that new Eloy album? Oh, no, it's not Eloy. It's Sloan. I think I've been in too many record stores, but yeah, Sloan 12. You need this. It is pop. It is glorious. It makes you do the shimmy, shimmy. Now, the next thing here, and this is power pop, I'll tell you. Next thing is the new Damned album. It's really funny. It's not really power pop, but I just want to say curse words. The Damned album, Evil Spirits. No, this is actually a great pop record. It's not power pop. It's not punk like the old, the Damned of old. But the Damned have always been constantly evolving and changing. And they've got like bassist Paul Gray back in the band, Dave Vanian, Captain Sensible. There's a great song here called "We're So Nice" that sounds like it's straight off of a. You could tell it's a Captain Sensible song. I think he actually sings it too. But the track "Standing on the Edge of Tomorrow," which is the opening track, is freaking epic. It's an anthem. These guys have been doing this for 40 years or 41 years, and they're still making great albums. So I recommend you to check out the new Damned album called "Evil Spirits." It is available now, and you should really hug it. I like to hug Damned CDs. I like to curse. Cursing is fun. Anyway, got one more thing. Oh, this is fun. This is going to blow your mind. Got to wiggle the fingers. Bram Tchaikovsky box set. I don't know why I was wiggling my fingers. It just seemed like fun at the time. Bram Tchaikovsky box set. This right here collects everything that Bram Tchaikovsky released. It has, let me open this up for you. It has a booklet, like all good cherry red. This is a cherry red. Everybody knows that cherry red is awesome. This has Strange Man, Change Man, first album. The album with Girl of My Dreams. This has the album plus bonus tracks. The next album, Russians Are Coming. This album was a different album cover, was known as Pressure in the U.S. Same exact album, but this has bonus tracks. You can see the bonus tracks there. But like I said, the album in the U.S. was called Pressure. It had a completely different cover, but it was the same exact songs, same exact order, everything. But this version has bonus tracks. And then finally, when I first heard about this box set, I didn't think that this was going to be in it. But Funland, the third Bram Tchaikovsky album. These were actually more Bram Tchaikovsky as a band. This is more Bram Tchaikovsky as a solo artist. And this has a couple bonus tracks on it. And it has a bunch of great songs. Best thing on here is Soul Surrender, which is his version of a Motors B-side, or actually part of a medley, a Motors medley. And that's fantastic. But all three of these, they all have bonus tracks, and this is pretty much everything that Bram Tchaikovsky released between 1979 and 1981, and it comes in this nice little box here, this nice little clamshell box with a booklet, which features interviews with Bram and I think Mickey Broadbent as well, or Mickey Broadbent. But you can get that, Bram Tchaikovsky. And that is it with this episode of But Is It Power Pop? I appreciate you for subscribing. I appreciate you for liking and sharing and commenting and letting me know how you feel. And I appreciate you going and listening to and downloading Beach Blanket Fort Bingo, my podcast. We're already up to episode 5. And I appreciate you listening Thursdays on woodyradio.com to Skip Dobbin with Spaz, which is a lot of great melodic music. And I appreciate you going and reading reviews online at discussionsmagazine.com. And I appreciate you just being you big cuddly teddy bear. Thank you very much. And we will smell you later.